Clarksville, Arkansas was at times almost unbearable. I spent my summers picking peaches and hauling hay, and I got filthy rich working in the peaches. Well, filthy anyway. I made 50 cents an hour in the peaches, and I helped my dad put hay in the barn, loose hay, with pitchforks, in the loft. If we'd put a thermometer up there in the barn loft, the mercury would have popped the top of it off. Peach fuzz would make me itch like crazy, and so did the hay, and sweat dripping off me by the gallon. Thirsty and dry and worn out by mid-afternoon, and just as we were so hot we thought we would die, Dad would say those words that made me want to shout for joy. Load up, let's go to Kings Canyon. Kings Canyon was a popular swimming hole in the day, so we would throw the inner tubes in the back of the truck and head for Kings Canyon. And when we got there, you can't just walk up and slowly walk out in the water. If you stick your big toe in the water to check it out, you'll stand there forever trying to work up the courage to get in the water. No. Grab your inner tube and run as hard as you can and jump way out in the water. And then, when you regain consciousness, you'll have a great time. Located a few miles north of Clarksville, Kings Canyon had a snack stand and a dance hall and picnic tables. Speaking of the dance hall, I remember Mom shaking her head and saying, "Oh my, as we drove past the dance hall on the way to church on Sunday mornings. If I squinted my eyes, I could almost see the devil peering out one of those windows." None of those things are there now. It's privately owned, fenced off, and all grown up around the swimming pool. Kings Canyon water was cold. It was part of Spadder Creek as the creek flowed toward town, and they say it was also fed by springs. A huge rock jutted out over the pool, and it was great to dive from this rock, and right next to it was the Arkansas rock, so named because it was shaped like Arkansas. It stood maybe 10 feet out of the water, and kids would jump from the rock if they had the guts. Somehow mustering up the courage to jump from the Arkansas rock into the water was some kind of rite of passage from boyhood to manhood. If you were chicken to jump, you felt like a boy. But if you could cowboy up and jump into the water, you felt like a man. It wasn't particularly fun, though, as I recall. I guess I didn't do it right because the water would slap my body and sting my face when I hit. But it was worth it since I felt now that I had achieved something special. It was a "did you see that, Mama?" moment. I couldn't believe it, but some of the older boys were daredevils, and they would climb up on the cliff that overlooks the swimming hole and jump into the water, maybe 40 or 50 feet into the water that was shallow enough that leaves and dirt would churn up to the top of the water after they jumped, because they were hitting the bottom. But they lived and came out laughing. There's just a split second, though, between having a great time and disaster. I knew that much, and I wanted no part of it. Proving you're a man is one thing. Proving you're a stupid man's quite another. It's amazing what you will do when people are watching you, especially girls. You'll do stuff that you would never do if you were just there by yourself. You have to prove yourself. Scared to death, heart racing, palms sweaty, gripped by fear, but you have to prove yourself and take the leap. Impress those people with your bravery. Well, there you have it. My memories of Kings Canyon. What makes Kings Canyon a special memory as I look back over the years? Was it the refreshing water or the scenery or the snack bar? Yeah, to some degree, but mostly it was being with friends and being with family, and for a time we forgot our problems and laughed and played, and somehow, for a time, the world seemed like a great place to be. Hey, thanks for watching. If you'd like to subscribe, you'll be notified so you'll know when a new video is coming out. I post one each Friday. Have a good day. Bye.